Good evening and welcome. Welcome to my live stream. Here are to fight CPS and stop taking our children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and it's a warm welcome. I've been doing this live stream now for 17 months, and I started in October of 23. And I do this twice a day where I try to talk to people that have CPS issues, problems that they've encountered with CPS. Yes, I am a CPS victim, and I have uh, fighting CPS for 15 years. So I know it firsthand, inside and out. And huh, I am and happy to tell you that this twice a day for all this time, I think is helping. I've had so many of you call in and say, if it wasn't for you, I'd given up. So I had someone that was at a crisis center yesterday, and they called me on the show, and I calmed them down, and I'm able to try to help them. I'm trying to help them. Now, we're going to change the format a little bit. I used to do when we had nobody in here to answer questions, things, I would talk about my rules and talk about um, other things. And um, I'm going to try. I was suggested. I've used Core's Digest in the past to get questions and answers about CPS. So now I'm going to try called Google Docs, and hopefully they'll produce me some CPS discussions that I can talk on during the podcast. So right now we have three people in the room, and unless you're calling in or a guest on my live stream or text me a message, I will talk about topics. But what this room is made possible is you guys. You're my family. Some of you come back to me twice a day, and you've been doing this for years. And so I really like that. I really experienced that. So it's something that is really special that I'm able to help you. I too have been a very bad victim and very hurt by CPS. I cannot express to you the loss of a daughter to CPS, or the loss of your home you worked 45 years for, or now you're no longer eligible to work because there's stuff about CPS against you. I don't know. I'm still investigating into a lot of this matter. But anyway, um, since we have no one, you can, let me tell you, you can text in or call in, and I will take your message. Let me put my call up number there. This is if you want to call in. There's my number on the screen. It's 626 698 0990. And I love to have you call in, and we can talk about any topic or anything about your case or how I can help you. I know it's been really rough and tough for you. It really has been. Now, I can receive text messages from you, so I encourage you to write me a text message, either your comments or questions, and have it pertain to CPS. It's very important it pertain to CPS. Um, I wear contact lenses. I'm going to put some drops in my eyes so it looks like I'm wide awake. I get sleepy looking eyes, and I apologize that I look sleepy, but I'm wide awake, well rested, and very excited to help you with your case. Now, my phone is on, and I'm even taking phone calls and whatnot. Now, you found me through Facebook, and I'm glad you did. I'm glad you found me. Now, before I forget, if you're going to text me a message, please make sure that you follow this order of things. I don't know why my eyes are so not focused, really. Okay, I think that is better there. Um, Loretta Glott, hi there. You made it back. Have trial next week. Great. Where did you come back from? And what's your location? I need to put that text message to be, excuse me, to text me a message, all or question or comment. All you have to do is please show me your first name. I have your first name, your city or county, and state. And if you're from another country, your country. I have 21 countries and 50 states, and I also got the District of Columbia. So that is a lot of people. I've talked to over 1,000 people from around the world and around here. I'm not going to go in detail anymore about where these countries are. All my live streams will have it. You're from Sacramento, California. Great. And you said you made it back. What do you mean you made it back to this room? Or I'm trying to help you here. Um, okay. So I'm going to do a topic now. And if you text something, when I finish the topic, we will talk. Okay. Another thing too is I'm going to put up real quickly what you can do to be a guest on my podcast. So there it is to be a guest on my podcast. Okay, well, welcome back. I'm going to do a topic. It's called Google Topics, and it's going to be hopefully pertaining to CPS. Okay, Here are some topics about restraining use of child restraint use. Well, that seems not loading up here. Um, um, Let me answer your question here. I never wanted a birth certificate for my son, which also keeps him out of court jurisdiction. But the courts are the hospital created one anyway. Would it be fraudulent? Well, by law, every child is born, a birth certificate is generated. Now, I do not know the laws regarding that in detail. That's something I have to work on. What is required of a birth certificate are they required? But in my experience, all my children have birth certificate. The mother and father were listed on it. So I don't understand, why wouldn't you want your son or daughter to have a birth certificate? Reason why I ask this is they're going to get identification someday. They're going to get a driver's license or ID card, and it's necessary to have a birth certificate. Also, legal matters pop up. They need to know who the biological mother and father is. I really don't see the advantage of not having a birth certificate. So maybe you can elaborate me more, Lorelei Glant, and I can figure out what you are implying about. Now, it's not fraudulent if someone generates a birth certificate. It's only fraudulent if the information is incorrect. Welcome, Livingston, and I appreciate to see you. Livingston is from Los Angeles, California, and he is being represented by Vincent Davis. He has a CPS case in Los Angeles County. Now, what was the purpose of having a private birth certificate? What is meant by a private birth certificate? Well, I want to start off with the topic I found on Google. It's called the Child Protection Services. Now, I call it the system because every state, every county worldwide, it's different. It's different. Now, she wanted a birth certificate for her son, which also keeps him out of the court's jurisdiction. I don't know how they would keep him out of the court jurisdiction, but the court or hospital created one. Wouldn't that be fraudulent? Now, I don't know what the law is. I think I tried to answer this earlier. You wanted a private birth. Well, okay. How is your son going to get a passport or a job or a driver's license without a birth certificate? That is a big question you have to ask yourself there. And what part of the country are you from, Lorelai? Well, if you want to live him out of the parameters of government, you'll probably have to go to a different country. In the United States is full of laws. Whether you like them or not, whether right or wrong, we're a country. We're founded by the founding fathers with bylaws and Constitution of the United States. We are a law abiding society. The place that governs our land is divided into three departments: the executive branch, the judiciary branch, and the Congress branch, the congressional branch. Those three entities make up the United States government. Within them, they have federal laws, and each state has state laws. And with that, if it's a government entity, they all have their with the laws there. And so, it's a hard question to answer. It's a hard question to answer. And I don't know where you want to go with that. I still don't know what part of the country you're from. But I need to move back to my topics. Now, the Child Protection System's purpose, it's a government agency that investigates reports of child abuse and neglect and provides service to family to ensure the safety and well-being of children. Now, intervention. If abuse or neglect is confirmed, CPS may intervene by providing services like safety plan, in-home monitoring, or in some cases, removing the child from the home. Now, there's other names than in the child protection system. There's the CPS, Child Protection Services. There's the Department of Children and Family Services. There's Department of Social Services. There's the Department of Children's Service, DCS. There's the Cabinet. It goes on and on. Now, reporting. How is child abuse reported? It's reported if you suspect a child is in danger of abuse or neglect. You can contact the CPS agency in your county or the Child National Abuse Hotline at 800 422 4453. That's an important number to write down. That's the National Child Abuse Hotline. Now, there's something called the Current Population Survey. That is not CPS. That deals with collecting data. There's also other CPS. There's energy, schools, and so forth. That's not what we're talking about. Now, one of the things comes up is that you can report someone to the CPS. That's how they come out and investigate. In California, it's 1-800-540-4000. If you see the bottom of my ticket, I'm trying to put the other topics that are coming out here that we need to address. Okay, and one of them is subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's one there. Now, we've had two people in this room. We've had Linnell and Livingston. And again, if you have something you want me to talk about, please text me. Or better yet, you can call in. You can call in. Now, besides texting in and so forth, you can also be be a guest on the podcast. And self-explanatory, it's there. If anybody anytime has a question, please call me. Now, there's actually a form that you can fax to the child report form. And that's 213-742-7072. Now, if you're calling from outside of California, it's 213-639-4500. Now, reporting is either done by a layperson or by a professional, a mandated reporter professional. Reporting should be done when a person either knows or has a reasonable suspect the child has been or is in danger of abuse and neglect. Now, abuse is when physical harm is going to a child. Neglect is when they're not being fed or clothed and so forth. Reasonable suspicion means that most people, given the same facts and information, would suspect child abuse. For instance, if a child's locked up in the closet, or the child has a lot of marks and been whipped and so forth, that's child abuse. A question came out of here in the Google topics. Can you give a child to CPS? Yes, a child can call Child Protection Services if they feel unsafe or experience abuse or neglect. While the specific process may vary by states or regions, many CPS agencies allow individuals, including minors, to report concerns. Now, there was a question done on Quora, which is the one I was using before Google, and it said, can a child call CPS? Yes, a child called Child Protection Services if they feel unsafe or experiencing abuse or neglect. While the specific process may vary by state or region, many CPS agencies allow individuals, including minors, to report concerns. It's important for children to know that they can reach out for help if they are in a dangerous situation. However, they may want to speak to a trusted adult who can help them making the report. Now, I'm switching back here. Under Google Topics, I found they referred to Quora, which is the one I was using to get a lot of questions and answers. Question came up a lot of times with CPS. How long does it take for CPS to come to your house in California? Depending upon the allegations made, CPS will initiate an investigation into the allegations by visiting your home immediately or up to 10 days after CPS receives the allegations. So they have 10 days to check up on the allegations. Now, what happens if you ignore CPS in California? Ignoring or refusing to cooperate with CPS can lead to serious legal consequences. There may include fines, probation, or even more severe cases, the loss of a child in custody. Understanding the severity of these legal ramifications is critical for informed decisions, making sure when dealing with CPS. Wonders what will happen if you ignore CPS is a common query for many people. Child protection system is an integral part in promoting children's welfare, but the repercussions of ignoring or reducing to cooperate with them or offer or are often not well understood. The guide delivers into the manufacturer neighbor of the use of the issue, focusing on the legal consequences, the impact on the children, and support and service available to family. Legal consequences, the serious impact. Now, I have some in my room I need to refer to, and it's Lanai Gant, and then Livingston, which has already been talked in my room. I just referred to them. Now, understanding, welcome back, Grace. The understanding the severity of these legal ramifications is critical for informing decision making when dealing with CPS. Child removal and process steps and implication. When a child's safety is considered at risk, CPS may begin the child removal process. This involves several steps, such as emergency removal in the situations of immediate danger and retaining a court order for the legal removal, the warrant. The process can be emotional, strenuous to everyone involved. Now, exploring the foster care system. Placement in the foster care system is a potential outcome of CPS's intervention. It's essential to understand how the system operates, including the regulations govern it and the experience of children in foster care. Foster parents are instrumental in providing a stable and nurturing environment for children during these difficult periods. This is what happens if you ignore CPS. Understanding the kinship care and alternative placement. When dealing with the child protection system, two critical questions frequently emerge. What happens if CPS won't help? And what essentially questions should I ask CPS? Alongside these concerns, another common inquiry, what happens if you ignore CPS? In this context, it is crucial to understand the range of alternates to foster care that CPS might explore. These options include kinship care, placement in group homes, and the potential consequences of parental rights termination. Each of these scenarios requires careful consideration and a thorough understanding of the implication. Now, kinship care challenges, balancing comfort and responsibility. Kinship care can care where a child is placed with a relative or a close family friend is potentially an option considered by CPS. What often requires a sense of comfort and familiarity for the child. It also brings unique challenges. The responsibility and the dynamics involved in the kinship care need to be careful to investigate as they can significantly impact both the child and the caregiver. Now, going on, this is called group homes and facilities catering to specialized needs. In cases where the children have specific need or circumstances, CPS might consider placement in group homes or specialized facilities. These environments are designed to provide care and support under the guidance of a well-trained, or not well-trained, but a trained professional. Understanding how these facilities operate and their role in the broader contents of CPS is important for a comprehensive view. Now, parental rights termination. There is a heavy, heavy subject right there. And I'm not ignoring all you guys that are texting me and asking me questions and stuff. I will come and help you. Just put your questions up, and after each topic, I'll interface you with this room. This format change is to supposedly make more people come and listen. So this is my first show where I'm really devoting to subjects. Now, parental rights. Severe consequences of ignoring CPS can be the termination of parental rights. The legal process completely severs the ties between a child and their biological parents. It's a drastic measure taken under extreme circumstances. Grasping the situation that lead to such a decision and to taking the and the legal complications involving essential to anyone investigating the CPS system. What happens if you ignore CPS? Long-term effects on children and support for foster care. When contemplating what happens if you ignore CPS, it's crucial to concern this screen is so bright, I'm trying to get my eyes adjusted to it. Long-term effects on children, addressing emotional and psychological needs. CPS involvement, especially when ignored, can lead to significant lasting impacts on children. Beyond the immediate effects like emotional trauma and family separation, there are long-term psychological and emotional consequences. These can include a child's development, the future relationships with others, and all over well-being, necessity to focus on mental and emotional health care. So this is a very extreme traumatic thing to your body. Now, I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody in the room here. And so far, Livingston, who's hired Mr. Davis to be their attorney, is talking in another language, and I can't speak Spanish. So, Livingston, if you can speak in English, it'd be better. Okay? Okay, I think Lorelei says common law. Now, Sacramento, California. Good. You told me you're in Sacramento, California. Well, she's on a decision where she doesn't want her children to have birth certificates. Now, I don't know where that's coming from. There was the movement in the 60s to abolish all rules and regulations and live in a kind of a lawless society, but it hasn't worked. And I'm really okay. And now I want to go back to my topics again, the Google topics. Now, there's the role of parenting classes, reporting misconduct, and child advocacy. When considering the question, what happens if you ignore CPS, it's important to explore the avenues available for families to navigate the CPS system, including parenting classes for reunification and reporting CPS misconduct, and the role of a child advocacy services. Now, parental classes, a crucial step towards reunification. Participating in parental classes is a significant step for parents seeking to reunify when after their child has been removed by CPS. These classes are designed to address the issues that led to CPS intervention. Now, some of these things I'm talking about or reading about are based on some, I guess, something that's happened traumatic in these people's lives. Now, participating in parenting classes is a significant step for parents seeking reunify with their child after CPS remove them. These classes are designed to address the issues that led up to CP intervention. They aim to equip Now, reporting CPS and misconduct, upholding systems accountability. In Texas, a CPS case, it's crucial to understand how to stand up for yourself in Texas CPS case, Texas state law. Upholding accountability in the child protection system is essential. If you encounter any misconduct or abuse by CPS worker, knowing the appropriate steps to report these issues is very important. I don't know how many times that my social workers were bad. I should have done a lot more reporting. You know, when you're involved in CPS, you're scared because you don't know anything about this entity. And you want to focus on getting your children back. But there's a lot of steps in between the actual trial and the place where you're staying. That was okay. Now, a voice for children's right is called the Child Advocacy. There are various organizations and services dedicated to advocacy the children. Understanding the role and benefit of these children advocacy services can necessitate and it can also reassure and support the families dealing with CPS. These services ensure the rights and well-being of children and are protected and promoted throughout the CPS system. Now, you listeners, Livingston, and who else we got here? Livingston and wow, Lana Gant. Do you enjoy me talking about topics in Google's topic area in CPS? Is this what you want to hear? You guys can be a part of this live stream here. You can interact. You can ask a question. You can make a comment, and you can tell me, what it is, and I will help you. And if you aren't a guest, try to sign up to be one. And if you are making phone calls, try to call me. In fact, I need to put my phone number up so I can take phone calls. To call me up, all you need to do is call 626-698-0990. Now, I'm on Vonage, but you don't need Vonage to talk to me. It's a web-based phone number. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. But my phone number is up. I'll call you to the rest of the show. The show will be over at 8 o'clock, which is approximately in about, let me see here, in 13 minutes. So I have about 13 minutes of my live stream here. My mouth is getting a little dry because I'm doing a lot more talking with these topics than and not taking a lot of your questions. I'm trying to take your questions, and no one's called in yet. So the call-in part, the talking about questions, texting them. I can take them about every other discussion on these Google topics. But even tonight, I found out that Google topics led me to Quora because that's what I was doing a lot before. So anyway, I'm agreeable to change, and supposedly I'll get more people interested in my live stream. Now, the support system and the culture sensitivity when you ignore CPS. Understanding the broader context of CPS involvement, including statistical insights, the importance of culture sensitivity, psychological support for parents, and the role of continuing outreach program. Now, statistics and data on CPS involvement in Texas. A thorough understanding of CPS involvement requires examining the relative statistics and data in Texas. Now, this section provides an overview of trends and case outcome and the number of children in foster care in the state. These statistics have other valuable insight into the overall landscape and effectiveness of CPS in Texas. I thought I'd pick Texas because I talk a lot about California, so I think it's important to talk about something different. Now, cultural sensitivity is crucial in CPS, particularly on a diverse state like Texas. This part of the guide discusses how CPS workers are trained to respect and understand cultural differences, ensuring effective collaboration with families from various backgrounds. I read all this, and boy, I don't see this in real life, but there it is. Now, there's psychological support for parents, additional emotional trauma. The emotional toll of CPS investigation on parents can be significant. The section underlines the importance of psychological support and trauma, informs care for parents involving the CPS cases, provides emotional support is vital for the healing and well-being of both parents and their children, helping them navigate the challenges posed by CPS involvement. Now, a community outreach program, a preventive approach to CPS cases. Community outreach programs are instrumental in mitigating the need for CPS intervention. This section elaborates on various initiatives and programs designed to offer resources and support to at-risk families. A key aspect of these programs is their future on existing focus on establishing a safe and nutrient environment, which significantly lowers the chance of CPS involvement. Now, I'm looking at my phone on these topics. The reason why I use my phone as opposed to my computer is a couple reasons. My computer, the cursor jumps all over the place and it scrolls, and so I can't concentrate enough. Also, when I look at my computer, I have to open another tab, and I don't see the current tab in with you guys, and don't see when I question. If I use my phone, I can really see it and still see the screen that's on my computer. I will, by working more hours, I'll save up my money to get a computer, but I will get a computer fixed or replaced here. Now, community outreach programs are instrumental in migrating the need for CPS intervention. Now, this section elaborates on various initiatives and programs designed to offer resources and support to a risk family. A key aspect of these programs are focused on establishing a safe and nutrient environment, what significantly lowers the chance of CPS involvement. Additionally, these wondering how do you know if a CPS case is closed? These programs also provide guidance and information on monitoring and understanding the status of a CPS case. According to I think I go to the conclusion. All right, thrill seekers, we have reached the grand finale of our CPS adventure picture. This. You've been on a roller coaster, and now it's time to return to your solid ground. But what about the journey isn't over yet? As we bid adieu to the world of child protection services, remember that life's journey is full of unexpected twists and turns, just like our darling cat or daring cat from the beginning. Sometimes curiosity can lead up to the down unpredicting pass. But don't forget the most important passengers on the roller coaster are the children. Their well being, resilience, and potential to thrive in any circumstance remind us that at the end, it's all about the journey, the support we offer, and the love we share. So until our next adventure begins, keep exploring, stay curious, and remember the roller coaster is always better when we ride together. Well, that's a good analogy. I think that was really good. And I think that that is a start with some of the topics here. And hopefully, you, all their listeners, are enjoying this. Now, Livingston, can you tell me how you thought about this? I know that you're showing a lot of the other language here, so I have to put it so everybody understands. Okay, can you keep it in English, Livingston? You're saying I'm trying to find support here. The common language that we speak here in the United States is the English language. Now, Livingston said, when we understand what the parents and children are going through, the channels can be found by children. Okay, that is good. That is good. I understand that. Hold on a second. I think I saw a message from Grace here. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Let me see here. Now we're at the mark at the 52 mark here. Our show ends at 8 o'clock. I got 4 minutes. 4 minutes to go, and then I'll have to close down the show. Now, does anyone have a question or comment they'd like to make now? Because we've got too much more time left. Now, I did tell you a little bit about the rules, but I still have my 5 rules. I'm going to say them real quickly. Rule 1, hire an attorney. That's the most important rule. 2, document everything. 3, no to social workers and to CPS and policemen. No to let them in your home, and no to let them take your children. Be careful of urgent care and the hospital, because social workers are hanging out there and they will try to take your children. And so you got to be careful there. Now, Livingston says, where we understand what the parents and children are going through. Right. Understand. I appreciate that. Children can find out here they're being victims for CPS. I appreciate that. Now, I don't know what's happened to my regulars. Usually I have my regulars in the room, and somehow they've disappeared. I don't know where Betty is from Montana, or Margaret King from Fresno, or some of my other ones. I know right now we have one person that is quite ill. That's Faye Manley. She has a double case of pneumonia. And I guess until it warms up, she's not getting any better. Now, I had a person that talked about birth certificates, and that was Laurel Gant, and she's from Sacramento, California. So she started off the live stream, and then I've had Livingston, and you two are the only ones tonight. I don't know if my topics changed away, but I hope they didn't. It's a new format of talking about the Google topics. I use Google all the time to find things about CPS. But apparently there's a format that I need to explore further on doing Google, focus on Google topics about CPS. But whatever you're doing in your life, I want you to keep fighting for your children. Don't give up. You may be discouraged. Come here for support. I'm on here twice a day. I'm on Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. At 10 p.m. And then on Saturday, I'm on at 8 a.m. in the morning. Then the evening, Monday through Sunday, I'm on at 7 p.m. It's easy to remember that. So try to be a guest on my podcast. Also, try to call in. I think that's important. Also, the websites, the Sandstorm, the Vincent W. Davis, joining the YouTube channel. Those are all important things. Please check below to follow me. And please, if you want to be notified, check the notification. Emojis are nice. Smiley faces, thumbs up, and hearts. And maybe sending stars. That'd be great. But I want to thank you all for listening tonight. And I hope that the change will make this room more informative. With that being said, I want to tell you, God bless you. Don't stop fighting for your children. And this is Bob Pace signing off.